At dawn, you feel a restlessness that challenges the usual silence. There's an inner whisper that reveals that the path you're taking no longer reflects who you are. Each experience of the past weighs like a shadow that prevents the brilliance of the present. The apparent security hides limitations that cry out for renewal. This is the call to embrace a deep transformation aligned with a greater purpose. The known, no matter how comfortable it may seem, imprisons dreams and prevents exploring new horizons. The family routine often serves as a refuge for you, but it also limits your potential. You begin to realize that breaking away from what no longer inspires you is the first step towards something new. Small signs accumulate that reveal the urgency of a vibrant new beginning. Transformation comes when you open yourself to the possibility of a future full of light. On this new path, faith and courage appear as beacons that illuminate your path. Every challenge and discomfort becomes an opportunity to discover your potential. Leaving old habits behind opens space for new and enriching experiences. Trust in divine direction manifests itself in subtle and impactful ways. Conscious surrender to change transforms uncertainty into an invitation to growth. By listening to your inner voice, you recognize the need for renewal and change. It is not about abruptly abandoning everything, but about letting go of what no longer serves you. Every step towards something new is an act of courage and deep knowledge of oneself. The experience is enriched by balancing tradition with necessary innovation. This journey becomes a harmonious dance between what was and what can be. Transformation requires attention to the subtle signals that life offers in each moment. Momentary discomfort reveals the urgency of a liberating change. By accepting uncertainty, you allow your inner wisdom to flourish. Each intentional decision brings you closer to your true purpose. Reaching the new direction seems to be a path full of discoveries and improvement. On this path, faith and trust come together to create a future full of possibilities. The old gives way to a new story that you write with authenticity and passion. Every challenge you face reinforces your conviction that the new is promising. The courage to transform discomfort into learning becomes the key to evolution. Thus, awakening to a new path marks the beginning of an inner revolution. When you wake up, you notice a subtle call to transformation. There's a feeling that something needs to be abandoned for the new to flourish. The soul longs to free itself from the chains of the past. Each moment makes us understand that familiar comfort no longer satisfies. This awakening is the first step to recognizing the urgency of change. The routine, once safe, now reveals its silent limitations. The accumulation of old habits and thoughts weighs on the heart. You begin to identify small signs that indicate the need to evolve. Restlessness becomes an impulse to seek new horizons. To recognize this need is to accept that growth requires courage. Each daily challenge exposes the fragility of preserving what no longer nourishes. The feeling of stagnation intensifies, crying out for renewal. Looking inward reveals that it is necessary to release the bonds of the past. This perception makes clear the importance of letting go of what has already fulfilled its role. Openness to change constitutes an indispensable invitation to a new beginning. In the midst of the routine, an inner voice whispers that there is more to explore. The familiarity that once brought comfort now turns out to be an obstacle. You discover that freedom lies in accepting the impermanence of things. Every little sign is a reminder that the new depends on conscious detachment. Recognizing this truth is an act of self-love and self-knowledge. The heart feels the urgency to break the ties of the past. Consciousness illuminates when you realize that change is inevitable and necessary. Each experience becomes a lesson that prepares the ground for the new. Self-confidence grows by accepting that letting go is part of evolution. Thus, recognizing the need for change becomes the seed of a transformative future. By integrating this new insight, you prepare to break old patterns. The feeling of stagnation gives way to a vibrant energy of renewal. Each step toward change is based on self-knowledge and courage. The certainty that detachment frees you to live your purpose becomes stronger. This journey of recognition opens a path full of possibilities and growth. As you walk, you realize that each step is part of a larger design. Faith manifests itself subtly, illuminating the path even when the details are uncertain. Each challenge becomes a sign of the presence of a divine plan that guides your path. Confidence comes when you understand that everything does not need to be explained for it to have value. In this scenario, surrendering to the mysteries of life strengthens the belief in a planned destiny. The light of faith shines in moments when the path seems cloudy. You learn to let divine wisdom transform doubts into certainties. Trust takes root when the unknown becomes part of an orchestrated journey. Each obstacle is seen as an invitation to deepen dedication to a greater purpose. Thus, obedience to the internal call reinforces the certainty that nothing happens by chance. In the silence of uncertainty, divine direction reveals clues of what is to come. Faith becomes a refuge that fuels hope even in times of doubt. You allow yourself to trust, knowing that every setback is a springboard toward fulfillment. Surrendering to superior forces translates into courage that defies human logic. At each step, trust is consolidated as the unbreakable foundation of your journey. When you open your heart to the mystery of the divine plan, you discover the strength of surrender. Confidence manifests itself in the ability to move forward even without seeing the big picture. Every decision, no matter how small it may seem, bears the mark of a transcendental purpose. Obedience to intuition becomes a harmonious dance with destiny. In this sense, faith transforms challenges into opportunities for renewal and learning. The recognition that a higher plane exists brings serenity to moments of uncertainty. Confidence in a destiny drawn by the divine hand strengthens your determination. Each experience is revealed as a fundamental piece of the puzzle of life. By surrendering to the natural flow of existence, you discover the power of surrender. Thus, the certainty of a greater purpose renews your energy to move forward. By integrating trust into the divine plan, the journey becomes lighter and more meaningful. Faith is the link that unites moments of doubt with the certainty that the universe conspires in your favor. Every step taken in obedience to the inner signs becomes wisdom. Conscious surrender allows divine direction to guide your paths with clarity. Thus, complete confidence opens the doors to a life full of blessings and achievements. When you look back, you realize that carrying the past makes the journey heavier. Every accumulated memory, even lessons, can become a silent burden. Letting go of what no longer serves you means recognizing that the new needs space to flourish. Releasing old ties becomes an act of self-love and courage. Thus, the path to transformation is opened by releasing the dead weight that prevents progress. Leaving behind experiences that have already fulfilled their role is essential for renewal. Every trace of the past that remains can obscure the light of the present. Practicing detachment frees your mind to embrace new horizons with clarity. By releasing emotional shackles, you invite positive energy to take their place. This decision to let go of your ties is the first step toward rebuilding a vibrant future. The act of letting go requires the courage to face memories without allowing them to define your destiny. Every challenge overcome in the past provides the opportunity to lightly rewrite your story. By transforming pain into learning, you turn weight into strength to move forward. Consciously releasing old habits renews your connection to the present. In this process, detachment becomes a ritual of renewal that drives your personal evolution. By releasing what no longer nourishes your soul, you make room for the new to take hold. Each gesture of detachment is a firm step towards a more authentic and full life. The feeling of relief that comes from letting go of the weight of the past strengthens your self-esteem. This inner release allows you to reconnect with your essence and purpose. Detachment, therefore, becomes a powerful tool for personal transformation. Letting go is not forgetting, but rather learning to live with a lightness that change brings. Each completed cycle is an opportunity for new beginnings to manifest. By releasing memories that no longer serve you, you build a solid foundation for the future. Inner renewal becomes visible when the heart is freed from old burdens. This process of letting go is a celebration of the ability to be reborn each new day. By practicing detachment, you become the protagonist of your own transformation. Each step towards emotional freedom is marked by the courage to let go of what weighs us down. Energy released from the past becomes inspiration to create a new path. The recognition that the elderly person no longer has a place in your life strengthens your path. Thus, detachment becomes the bridge that connects the experience of the past with the promise of an enlightened future. When the horizon stretches beyond the familiar, courage reveals itself as your guiding light. The unknown may seem intimidating, but that is where the greatest opportunities for growth lie. Each bold step is a testament to your determination to transform fears into achievements. The willingness to explore the uncertain strengthens self-confidence and connection to purpose. Facing the new with courage transforms challenges into experiences that enrich the soul. The journey into the unknown requires the courage to abandon comfort zones that no longer serve you. Each obstacle overcome broadens your horizons and reveals surprising aspects of your inner strength. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to continue despite it. By facing uncertainty with determination, you discover the beauty of an unexplored path. The resilient spirit manifests when you allow yourself to experience the world without ties. In the wake of change, courage combines with faith to open previously hidden doors. Each new challenge becomes an opportunity to reaffirm your ability to evolve. Confidence in your own potential is strengthened when you boldly challenge the status quo. By accepting the initial discomfort, you find the motivation you need to move forward. This transformative courage builds a legacy of continuous improvement and renewal. The unknown invites you on a journey full of surprises and unexpected discoveries. With each step, courage becomes the fuel that drives you to explore new paths. Even when destiny seems uncertain, self-confidence sustains your determination. Facing uncertainty turns vulnerability into a powerful force for transformation. The courage to take risks reveals a world of possibilities waiting to be revealed. Embracing the unknown is recognizing that each new challenge is an opportunity to reinvent yourself. Courage is expressed in the decision to move forward, even without guarantees of immediate success. Each experience lived in the mystery of the new strengthens your resilience and your self-knowledge. By turning fear into an ally, you discover that life's adventure is full of lessons. Self-confidence expands as you surrender to the flow of uncertainty with purpose. Each step towards the uncertain is an act of faith that fuels the flame of transformation. The courage to face the unknown reveals that, within you, there's an unbreakable strength. The commitment to one's own evolution transforms challenges into stories of improvement. By accepting that uncertainty is part of the process, you become the protagonist of an epic journey. Thus, courage becomes the link that connects the present with the future, paving the way for new achievements. Abraham, by leaving his homeland, exemplifies the power of faith in change. His decision to follow his divine calling illustrates the value of letting go of the known. Each step into the uncertain demonstrated courage and confidence in the greater plan. Abraham's example inspires us to believe that transformation comes with surrender. His journey reflects that faith can open doors to a destiny full of blessings. Moses, called to free his people, left the safety of his family. Facing unimaginable challenges, his faith became the pillar of leadership. The journey through the desert was marked by difficulties that became life lessons. Each obstacle overcome reinforced his conviction that change is guided by a divine purpose. His career inspires confidence that, even in the desert, the new path is revealed. Peter, who dared to walk on water, symbolizes faith that goes beyond limits. By attempting the impossible, he demonstrated that trust in the divine can overcome fear. Even when doubts arose, his brave gesture resonated as a milestone of improvement. Peter's example shows that, with sincere dedication, the unknown becomes the territory of miracles. His experience reinforces the idea that every challenge can be transformed by faith. David, from simple shepherd to king, represents the transition driven by divine destiny. Facing giants and challenges, his courage and faith came together in an extraordinary journey. Leaving the limitations of the past behind allowed him to discover his true potential. His career is an invitation for everyone to embrace change with determination and audacity. David teaches us that faith and courage are essential to transform adversities into victories. Joshua, Moses' successor, led his people toward the conquest of the Promised Land. With unwavering faith, he braved the unknown and took on the responsibility of a new era. Obedience to divine direction was what strengthened his leadership and inspired his people. Each battle won reflects the certainty that the new path is charted by higher purposes. His story highlights that the transition to the new requires courage, determination, and deep faith. Ruth, with her loyalty and determination, chose a path of love and dedication. Leaving the comfort of the known, he launched himself into a new life full of possibilities. His path, marked by courage and confidence, transformed challenges into opportunities for redemption. Ruth exemplifies that transition, even filled with uncertainty, can turn into unexpected blessings. His example inspires us to trust that when we live our faith intensely, each change becomes a powerful story of renewal. Surrendering to the flow of life is recognizing that not all paths need to be controlled. Conscious surrender transforms the anxiety of uncertainty into inner peace. Each gesture of surrender opens a space for divine wisdom to reveal itself. By letting go of the illusion of absolute control, you connect with a greater force. This surrender allows life to flow naturally, guided by faith. To practice surrender is to accept that change is inevitable and necessary to evolve. By letting go of the reins, you free yourself from the weight of the past and expectations. Every moment of surrender strengthens your connection to a higher purpose. Giving up does not mean weakness, but courage to trust in the unknown. Thus, surrender becomes a catalyst for deep transformation. When you surrender to the flow of life, you discover the beauty of living without ties. Obedience to divine direction is manifested in the courage to let go of what is no good. Each decision to surrender to the present reveals a new horizon of possibilities. Surrender turns challenges into lessons and obstacles into springboards for growth. This attitude of surrender strengthens your resilience and renews your inner hope. The practice of surrender teaches that it is necessary to trust in the natural rhythm of existence. By letting go of the desire to control, you allow life to surprise you with unexpected blessings. Every moment lived in surrender becomes a learning experience that enriches your journey. Faith is strengthened when you accept that there's greater wisdom guiding your steps. Thus, conscious surrender is revealed as the key to a fuller and more serene future. By surrendering to what life offers you, you discover the freedom of being truly authentic. Surrender is not resignation, but openness to receive the best. Each act of surrender reinforces the confidence that the universe conspires in your favor. Obedience to your essence allows you to live with greater lightness and clarity. In this way, the practice of surrender becomes a daily ritual of renewal and gratitude. Total dedication to life is the first step to transform uncertainties into opportunities. When you embrace surrender, fears dissipate and hope is renewed. Every gesture of obedience to divine direction strengthens your spirit and illuminates the path. Confidence in letting go of what is no good opens the doors to a vibrant new beginning. Thus, to experience surrender is to celebrate the freedom of being and the beauty of transformation. When a door closes, it announces that the universe is redirecting your journey. Each barrier is a sign that the current path has already served its purpose. The closing reveals the presence of divine guidance that prepares new opportunities. In the midst of frustration, faith is strengthened by realizing that the best is yet to come. Thus, each obstacle becomes an invitation to explore unexplored horizons. Divine direction is manifested through closures that, at first glance, seem insurmountable limits. These moments require you to let go of what no longer serves you and open yourself to the new. Every door that closes reinforces the importance of courageously letting go of old patterns. Detachment becomes essential for other possibilities to reveal themselves. The implicit message is clear: there is always a greater purpose that guides every choice. When paths are closed, faith invites us to look beyond what is apparent. The end of an era sets the stage for surprising new beginnings. Every obstacle overcome is proof that divine guidance is at work in your life. Confidence that new doors will open strengthens your determination. This perception turns the closure into a milestone of renewal and learning. Every barrier you encounter is actually a divine strategy to redirect your energy. By accepting the closure of a cycle, you allow yourself the opportunity to reinvent yourself. The initial discomfort dissipates with the certainty that there is a greater plan. Obeying your intuition reveals that every closed door brings precious lessons. Thus, life is rebuilt in harmony with the purpose that has always been reserved for you. The moments when everything seems blocked leave room for creativity and faith. Every closure is a reminder that the universe is always working in your favor. By surrendering to divine guidance, you learn to transform obstacles into bridges. The closing experience invites introspection and inner strengthening. In this way, management is revealed as the link that unites challenges with great achievements. With each door closed, your journey is enriched with new meanings and possibilities. Divine direction is shown in details that only faith can decipher. Confidence in moving forward, even in the face of the unknown, is consolidated with each new beginning. When you accept closures, you discover the beauty of a planned transformation. Thus, each obstacle becomes a springboard towards the future that the universe has in store for you. Taking responsibility for your own journey is recognizing the power of every choice. Faith is strengthened when you understand that your destiny is shaped by daily actions. Every conscious decision becomes a vital step toward a greater purpose. Obedience to your inner voice drives personal and spiritual transformation. On this path, personal responsibility is the seed that makes freedom and growth germinate. Being the protagonist of your story means embracing autonomy with courage and faith. Every action, no matter how small it may seem, builds the foundations for a promising future. By releasing the chains of the past, you take control of the present. Conscious surrender to your own choices demonstrates your commitment to evolution. Thus, personal responsibility becomes the driving force of your faith journey. With each step taken, self-confidence is reaffirmed through the practice of detachment. Recognizing that you are the author of your story inspires the search for new possibilities. Each challenge faced responsibly strengthens the conviction that new things are possible. Faith, combined with deliberate action, reveals the transformative power of taking charge of life. In this way, personal responsibility becomes the key to opening a path full of blessings. Taking responsibility is accepting that the future depends on today's decisions. Every conscious decision made reflects a commitment to one's own growth. By abandoning passivity, you become active in building a destiny aligned with your values. Faith manifests itself more vibrantly when you recognize its role in transformation. In this process, personal responsibility is the bridge that connects the dream with reality. The courage to act, even in the face of uncertainty, reveals the strength of your character. Each responsible action strengthens the connection with a greater divine purpose. By exercising self-control and determination, you become the architect of your destiny. Obedience to intuition and inner truth fuels the journey toward authentic living. Thus, personal responsibility is established as a solid foundation for a path full of faith. By taking charge of your own journey, you discover the true meaning of freedom. Every choice made with courage and conviction transforms challenges into opportunities for rebirth. Faith is renewed with the recognition that your path is the fruit of your commitment. Personal responsibility lights the way and reveals the beauty of a carefully crafted future. In this way, the path of faith becomes a path of self-knowledge, authenticity, and fulfillment. As you reflect on this journey, you realize the urgency of embracing a new path. Each stage experience strengthened the conviction that transformation is possible. Faith, detachment, and courage paved the way for a future full of possibilities. Now is the time to recognize that every decision can rewrite your story. Allow yourself to transform discomfort into a drive toward a fuller, more meaningful life. Each message presented is an invitation to rediscover your true potential. Trust and surrender to divine direction, renewed hope in a new beginning. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you open yourself to soul-lifting experiences. Transformation begins when you decide to take the first step with courage. This is the opportunity to rewrite your destiny with authenticity and passion. Imagine living with the lightness of someone who leaves the past behind and embraces the unknown. Each lesson learned strengthens the certainty that the new path is promising. Faith is renewed with each challenge overcome, illuminating the paths that open. Now you can turn every obstacle into a powerful source of growth. Let inspiration flow and let your journey be enriched with every step you take. With each new beginning, you become more aware of the power of your choices. Personal responsibility is revealed as the solid foundation to build the future. Detachment and trust come together to create a destiny full of purpose. It is time to recognize that change is the door to a more authentic life. Let your faith light the way and inspire all who seek renewal. Now, the message becomes a call for you to connect with this transformative energy. Each word was designed to encourage dedication and the courage to start over. As you embrace this new direction, you discover that the future is full of opportunities. Personal transformation is consolidated when you allow yourself to evolve without fear. This is your chance to live with purpose and leave an inspiring mark on the world. If you identify with this message and want to continue evolving, join us. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to receive content that inspires and transforms. Each video is an invitation to deepen your path of faith, self-knowledge, and renewal. Come be part of a community that values the courage to change and the pursuit of purpose. Are you ready to transform your life? Register now and start a revolution of faith and transformation.